no Harry Maguire, no Trent Alexander-Arnold, no Cole Palmer, and no Phil Foden.
The most chaotic build-up to what the FA hoped would be Harry Maguire, as we knew yesterday when he confirmed on social media. There is no Phil Foden, there is no Cole Palmer, no Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Instead, we have Jordan Henderson, 36 years old, Ivan Toney, 2-minute player under Tuchel, Dan Burn, and Newcastle CB. Like, what the F is going on?
I am absolutely stunned. Have left me absolutely shocked beyond belief. Thomas Tuchel has dropped an absolute bombshell. An absolute bombshell of a World Cup squad.
The decision was so controversial that Sky Sports described it as probably the most shocking England squad since 1998, while TalkSport labelled Henderson's inclusion utter madness. Right now, the entire nation seems to be asking the same question. What on earth is Thomas Tuchel thinking? England, quite simply, has lost its mind.
I'm a little bit surprised Ivan Toney's in the squad, not for his ability and his goals. The fact that he's hardly featured over this sort of calendar year for England has been really surprising that he's ended up on the
Go back
plane.
to the last time that he was involved, which was back in June, that Senegal game up at Nottingham Forest's ground. He played, a couple of minutes?
Yeah. How come he's featured so lightly over this calendar year if he's going to be on an aeroplane at the American Embassy getting his visa now?
But hear me out. If you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, this could actually be the best built England squad we've seen in decades. To be fair, the outrage is completely understandable. Cole Palmer, the hero of the Euro 2024 final, and the player many expected to take the next step and become the centrepiece of England's World Cup campaign, has been left out after a season wrecked by injuries and a dramatic loss of form. But the real shock came when Tuchel chose Noni Madueke as his replacement. Noni Madueke. The next shock came in the name of Phil Foden, the player who started in the Euro 2024 final and was once considered a potential Ballon d'Or contender. Tuchel had already given a clear warning beforehand. It's not a guarantee that he will come. In the end, he proved it by dropping the Manchester City star from the squad.
Yeah. It's interesting because every single one of these names, it looks as if Tuchel didn't care about the names, as you said. He just looked at profiles, straight profiles.
Which is
this
how it
is
should
the
be,
system. It's odd because it's how it should be, but it's never how it's done. It's never ever how it's done. It's always, here are the biggest names that we bring. Here are the best players in our nation. We're gonna fit them in here. He's brought Noni Madueke, who was not a starter this season, but he is an out-and-out winger. Tuchel has opted for profiles over names, and like you said, we won't know if this is gonna work out until the end of the tournament. It's such an interesting selection because you can't judge it now.
Next up, Harry Maguire even reacted publicly, calling the decision shocking and gutting, while his mother took to social media to express how disgusted she was. This is not made up. Maguire's mother genuinely spoke out. The situation has completely gone beyond football and officially entered the realm of family drama.
I was a bit surprised, but I respect his personality a lot. I respect his quality a lot. He had an outstanding season. I can see the disappointment. I can see the reason behind the disappointment. Still, I was a bit surprised because we had a private conversation, and he had the chance to express his feelings, which he did, and this is fair enough because I can see all the reasons why he could be in the squad.
Please run up. What's up? Because
run your ass up.
Red, let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now.
In contrast to those omissions, Tuchel has called up Jordan Henderson, who will celebrate his 36th birthday on the very day England face Croatia in their opening World Cup match. Along with him is Ivan Toney, a player who has drifted off to the Saudi Pro League and has only played 2 minutes under Tuchel so far. The selection is so baffling that even ESPN bluntly stated that Toney's role in this World Cup campaign probably doesn't matter.
I'm a little bit surprised Ivan Toney's in the squad, not for his ability and his goals. The fact that he's hardly featured over this sort of calendar year for England has been really surprising that he's ended up on the plane.
Go back to the last time that he was involved, which was back in June, that Senegal game up at Nottingham Forest's ground. He played, a couple of minutes?
Yeah. How come he's featured so lightly over this calendar year if he's going to be on an aeroplane at the American Embassy getting his visa now?
While TalkSport, Sky Sports and ESPN are still fiercely debating this squad, it's clear that things are not as simple as they appear on the surface. That's exactly why we need to sit down, calm our minds, and cool our heads to analyse it with real logic. Because before passing judgment, we must face one undeniable truth: why England always fail at the most critical moments. At Euro 2024, they brought an embarrassment of attacking riches: Foden, Bellingham, Palmer, Saka, Kane. Yet in the end, they still lost 1-2 to Spain in the final. That defeat wasn't because they lacked moments of individual brilliance to decide the game, but because they lacked a cohesive structure to connect those talents.
Turn it around the corner for Yamal, and he succeeded in that. Yamal is going to go over to Williams now! Expertly finished to get Spain started. And Saka gets it through, and Bellingham tries to tee up Palmer. Oh, yes! Ice-cold precision from Palmer. Other way first to Oyarzabal. Cucurella gets it back in. Oyarzabal scores for Spain! And not long left for England to do anything about this one. For England, the interminable wait goes on. For Spain, the glory.
Is it ever going to happen?
I believe with the players that we have an opportunity.
England's disease at that tournament was a tactical conundrum of their own making under Southgate: the stubborn insistence on cramming too many attacking players into the same setup. As a result, Foden, Bellingham and Palmer all wanted to drop into the same pocket spaces between the lines. The consequence? Kane was left completely isolated, while the midfield was left exposed due to a lack of cover. When the suffocating pressure of knockout football arrived, everything fell apart.
The one thing I'd say is, look, we have known for a long time, it's been throughout the whole of Thomas Tuchel's 16-month reign, he's got a problem at number 10. He's got an embarrassment of riches there. There is no other nation on this planet that has the number of world-class options at number 10 that England have got. He said all the way along he couldn't take them all. He would take the tough decisions and leave the big names at home if they weren't performing well or didn't fit into his plans. He's kept to his word on that, in leaving Phil Foden and Cole Palmer out, and Morgan Gibbs-White, we ought to mention as well, who's been outstanding for Forest.
And this is not a one-off phenomenon. From the 2018 World Cup to Euro 2021, England have repeatedly fallen into the same classic trap. They have talent, but no balance. Individual superstars, but not a real team. This is precisely why Tuchel was brought in, to fix this problem at its root. He doesn't need a collection of flashy names, as he himself has stated. We are not collecting the most talented players. We are trying to build a team. Teams win trophies, no one else.
Gareth tried it and Lee tried it to bring the talent together and to bring maybe as many of these highly talented players together. And I am trying now at the moment, and still we feel that we are lacking the enthusiasm and the joy consistently on international level. So I can just underline that the individual has to take a step back for the greater good.
That statement may sound cliché, but how is he putting it into practice? Let's look at how he is specifically building this team with real people. Tuchel's 4-2-3-1 system is designed to ensure every position in the squad has a clearly defined role, completely eliminating the risk of overlap and players stepping on each other's toes. This philosophy starts from the back with a core principle: clarity over compromise. Guarding the goal is Jordan Pickford, the undisputed number 1 goalkeeper who has proven himself across multiple tournaments with his ice-cold mentality, especially when saving penalties in high-pressure moments.
Joe Linton's cross. It's away by Keane. Tonali! That is an extraordinary, magnificent.
Tarkowski comes for Rodgers. Oh! Tremendous effort and a terrific save by Pickford.
Protecting the area in front of Pickford is the centre-back pairing of Mark Guéhi and Ezri Konsa. While Konsa has earned his place as the defender with the most minutes under Tuchel thanks to his rock-solid performances at Aston Villa, his partner Mark Guéhi is a reliable shield who has already proven himself in numerous high-stakes matches. Moving into the midfield, the backbone nobody's talking about, this is where the real magic is expected to happen. At the heart of this spine is Declan Rice, who has just enjoyed a stellar season with 4 goals and 5 assists in 36 Premier League appearances, playing a major role in Arsenal's run to the Champions League final. However, those statistics still don't tell the full story of this midfielder. Rice's terrifying impact is reflected in the 51 goal-scoring opportunities he created for his teammates. The current Rice has completely shed the label of a pure defensive holding midfielder. He has evolved into an irreplaceable engine, the driving force that propels the entire team forward. And to unleash that perpetual driving force, Tuchel has placed his faith in the most underrated name in this entire squad. Elliot Anderson, the 23-year-old midfielder from Nottingham Forest. Beyond his impressive record of 38 appearances, 4 goals and 4 assists for Forest this season, what truly caught the attention of experts was Anderson's remarkable 2.7 tackles per 90 minutes during the qualifying campaign. He is exactly the piece Tuchel has been urgently looking for, a disciplined, deep-lying pivot shield who acts as a sweeping machine, providing the perfect platform for Rice to push forward with total freedom and dictate the game.
It's one. It's Elliot Henderson! It's another fabulous Forest goal!
We were here in May when Brendan won here 2-0. Chris was got away here. Would be on the goalkeeper! Henderson here. Henderson, great feet. So doesn't matter. A spin from Anderson.
Finding the right partner to pair with Rice has always been a difficult puzzle that England could never truly solve under Southgate. Now, Anderson appears to be the most satisfactory answer. He may not be flashy or famous, but the Forest midfielder is functional in the truest sense of the word. Tactical analyst from Vavel explained, Anderson is a disciplined, clean passing pivot, acting as a shield for the defence and constantly recycling possession. In return, Rice is given licence to surge into the left half space, just like he does so effectively at Arsenal. Clearly, this pairing is perfectly replicating what they have been shining at club level, a highly pragmatic and far from coincidental calculation by Tuchel. Shifting to the attacking department, Tuchel's philosophy can be summed up in one supreme slogan: attack. The German coach himself has been blunt about the influence of his prize student. In the absence of Harry Kane, we don't have the same threat. Bayern Munich, in the absence of Harry Kane, does not have the same threat. No team in the world has the same threat, and he is not exaggerating. Just look at what this striker achieved in the 2025-26 season. 36 goals in the Bundesliga to win the top scorer award for the 3rd consecutive season, plus a sensational hat-trick in the DFB Pokal final, taking his incredible tally to 119 goals in 126 games since joining Bayern. But more important than these insane statistics is the proven truth from Tuchel's system at Bayern. When Kane is used in the most optimal way, he becomes a heavyweight magnet, automatically creating deadly spaces for the players around him to exploit.
Of attack, here is Olise. The long way round. Oh, what a cross! And King Kane delivers in the Pokal again. The woodwork. Amazing effort. Here they come again. Diaz. Oh, what a turn! It's Kane against Nubel. Hat-trick Harry has dominated this final.
What Tuchel quickly learned from the painful lesson at Euro 2024 was that Kane became completely isolated because Foden, Bellingham and Palmer all tended to occupy the same zones. To completely fix that mistake, this new squad has been built with extremely clear and distinct positional roles. Bellingham is locked in as the number 10. Saka remains on the right wing, a consistently reliable and elite choice. On the opposite flank, the left wing belongs to Marcus Rashford, who is enjoying a powerful resurgence at Barcelona. The entire system is completely free of overlap, with every piece on the chessboard knowing exactly what it must do. Beyond the tactical planning, Tuchel also possesses a major advantage that many are overlooking: the core of 4 Arsenal players in the squad: Saka, Rice, Eze and Madueke have just experienced both the glory and pain of a Champions League final together. Having endured the immense pressure of high-level knockout football, they have developed hardened tournament experience. This is an invisible but potentially decisive factor, a premium value that money cannot buy. So what about Henderson and Toney? The answer lies in their off-pitch intangible value. With Henderson, everyone knows the former Liverpool midfielder isn't there to run 90 minutes non-stop. His core mission is to maintain dressing room standards and serve as a solid psychological anchor to lift the younger players when tournament pressure becomes overwhelming. Recall the classic case of Conor Coady at Euro 2020, a player who didn't play a single minute but was still regarded by Southgate as one of the most important members of the squad due to his voice and authority in the dressing room. As for the other question mark, Ivan Toney, he is a true penalty specialist and a heavyweight joker card ready to be deployed in the final minutes of a match. His role is simplified to the maximum. Nothing more, nothing less. Yet the history of tournament football has proven that in decisive life or death moments, it is often these cold, unique characters that teams crave the most. It has been 60 long years since the glory of 1966, and the obsession with major silverware has never left the minds of the English people. However, let's flip the narrative with a more realistic context. England have reached the semi-finals or final in all three of their most recent major tournaments: World Cup 2018, Euro 2021, and Euro 2024. This generation is more than familiar with carrying the suffocating pressure of knockout football. This proves that what the three lions desperately need to complete the final piece of the puzzle is not more stars, but a cohesive structure that allows them to function as a true, unified unit. Drawn in Group L alongside Croatia, Ghana, and Panama, England's status as favourites is beyond debate. But the greatest value lies in the fact that, when they enter the knockout rounds, this will be the first time in many eras that England head into a major tournament with such a clear and unified tactical identity. The positive signals are very clear. Kane is exploding at the peak of his career. The steel in the Rice-Anderson midfield pairing has solved the chronic lack of balance from the Southgate era, and every forward has a distinct, non-overlapping role. Most importantly, with an extremely deep squad, Tuchel can sleep soundly knowing that even if key players get injured, he has perfect replacements ready.
And that's what we were criticising Southgate for, wasn't it? We were saying, oh, we've got all these attacking players, but there's no plan, there's no clear pathway. And then as it's kind of, time has gone on, and we reported it to some extent at the time, but more information has come out since about the tensions behind the scenes. He's trying to strip all of that away, and I think he's tried to pick a squad that has that identity, that has some energy to it, and that everybody knows their role and is going to be prepared to support each other and be together 24/7 for what they hope will obviously be 7 weeks. So I think in Tuchel we trust. Right? This is supposed to be the guy who takes us from Southgate and the absolute, on the brink of winning silverware. This is the guy who we're trusting to get us over the line.
Looking at the other side of the coin, the scepticism surrounding Tuchel's squad is entirely justified. England's recent matches at the sacred Wembley Stadium, a 1-0 defeat to Japan, followed by a goalless 0 draw against Uruguay, were far from inspiring for anyone. Even though the German coach tried to reassure the public with the words, a total belief, England's current friendly form remains a huge question mark that is hard to ignore. This disappointment was clearly reflected in the blunt commentary on Sky Sports Sunday supplement. It didn't excite me.
Yes, that's very admirable, but you are going to live and die by that squad selection because it's a hell of a gamble, and a gamble on a lack of creativity, I think, and I fear that it might go wrong. It wasn't a squad that got me excited.
But let's look at the bigger picture. The World Cup has never been a stage decided by teams that play the most attractive or exciting football in friendly matches. This brutal tournament exists to reward the side with the most solid structure when tournament pressure reaches its suffocating peak. History has proven this time and again. Italy in 2006 were far from exciting, and France in 1998 were highly pragmatic rather than thrilling, yet both ultimately stood on the top of the podium as world champions. Tuchel fully understands this. The squad selection and tactical setup he has chosen show that he is willing to accept doubt and criticism now in order to build a real team for the life or death battles beginning on July 19th. He refuses to compromise just to please opinions in the comment section. So, is the headline of this England squad is crazy accurate? Yes, But it's crazy in a way that no previous England manager has ever dared to attempt. Tuchel has looked directly at the root causes of England's past humiliating failures, which have never stemmed from a lack of talent, but rather from a chronic lack of structure, and has delivered a radical solution to fix it once and for all. Under his guidance, every position, every role, and every player chosen must perfectly fit and serve the system. The system will no longer be bent to accommodate any individual ego. Is Cole Palmer more talented than Noni Madueke? Possibly. Is Phil Foden better than Elliot Anderson? Almost certainly. However, in this campaign, raw talent is no longer the sole and ultimate measure. And if the dream ending becomes reality in England, truly lift that trophy on July 19 in New Jersey, all the doubts and complaints about the players left out will instantly be forgotten. The focus of history at that moment will belong entirely to an outstanding German coach, the man who arrived at exactly the right time to teach the English what a truly cohesive team really means, rather than a patchwork lineup of flashy egos. After 60 long years of anguish and bitter disappointment, England fans may finally look at each other and admit one truth. Perhaps this is the right way to finally bring glory home. If you enjoy our video, don't forget to hit like to help this video reach to other football lovers, and hit the subscribe button to follow for more interesting videos about football stories. See you in the next video.